Welcome to today's session on the Dilaram. It's the third week, I believe. We've had 2 weeks with Moni Ben, and this week we are very lucky to have Charlie Bai with us. So, for those of you who don't know Charlie Bai is none other than our RC, or the main instrument for our region. And Charlie Bai has been with Baba for over 40 years. And he is really as we call him, the founding father of service in Australia. And he'll be sharing some insights on today's topic. So, Charlie Bai, over to you.
So thank you so much, Satish Bai, and a very, very loving welcome to all the family of Dilaram, the one who steals our hearts. And I think it's such a beautiful program because January is a special month of the year for all of us. And I've heard Baba sometimes call it the month of love, sometimes the month of remembrance, sometimes the month of power. And so it's
Sorry,
such
Charlie Bai.
a
I'll just
wonderful
interrupt
month.
for
And the
one
whole
second,
aim
please.
of this program is really to come closer to Baba, understand Baba more deeply, have a more intimate relationship with Baba, remove all my illusions about who Baba is and what he does. And so, what I would really love to do is just to share a few of my thoughts. I think, as you know, slides are prepared on all the various titles of Baba, and just share a few of my thoughts. And then I'd love to hear a few of your experiences. So I will speak for 15, 20 minutes. And if any of you would like to share what you've experienced around your relationship with Baba in the first 2 weeks of this program, what has touched you, what has transformed you. So I'd really love to hear that. And then we will have time for question and answer. So please, we'd love to have your questions, and just put them in the chat box and Satish Bai will read them out. And then we will finish with some meditation. So I do hope that is okay. And I'm going to ask Satish Bai if he can just show the slides, and so that we can see on the screen, and if that's possible. And actually, while he's doing that, I'm going to begin with the first suggested relationship this week with the ocean of love. And probably for me in my life with Baba, this has been the most influential relationship that's helped me come close to Baba. And I think, whenever I feel a little bit influenced by something, whenever I feel my stage is not quite as it should be, it's this relationship with the ocean of love that gives me so much courage, so much internal power. And it's not just a belief. I really love to sit in front of Baba and allow Baba to love me. And some of you will have heard me talk about this, but I have been to Karachi in the last few years, twice actually. And in Kunch Bhavan, where Mama lived with all the Kumaris, I sometimes feel that in that house in the suburbs of Karachi, beautiful house, the greatest love affair of the whole cycle happens. And that's the love affair between the Supreme Soul, Shiv Baba, and the number one human soul, Brahma Baba. And Brahma Baba felt so deeply in love with Shiv Baba that he became a full angel. The absolute result of complete love is to let go absolutely everything. And our quest really is not just to believe Baba's the ocean of love. Sometimes I think some of Baba's children just hold disbelief. And it's more the belief. But what we really aspire to is the complete experience of the ocean of love. And I feel that Shiv Baba filled Brahma Baba with so much love and took him beyond everything. And then Brahma Baba and Shiv Baba, Bap Dada, filled all the daddies with so much love and just took them beyond their body consciousness and all influences too. And to me, this is the real Raja Yoga. The real Raja Yoga is to recognize the quality of Shiv Baba's love. It's the highest quality of love, the purest quality of love. We will not find love anywhere else as pure as this love. And once I was in a meeting with Daddy Janki, and she was actually, we were all talking about sort of service details and so on. And Daddy just stopped and she gave us all drishti. And I just remember light was coming out of her eyes, the light of love. And the whole atmosphere transformed. It was so powerful. And then when she stopped after a long time, she said, "It's love that makes me move. It's love that makes me tireless. It's love that's taken me beyond all obstacles. And it's love that takes me beyond all limits." Learn how to draw true love from Shiv Baba. Because to me, this is absolutely the essence. And I feel that when I fall in love with Baba, it's the most natural thing for all of us. Then I naturally remember. When I love somebody, I remember them. I naturally remember. And when I naturally remember Shiv Baba in his eternal form as the seed, egoless, bodiless, then that's what I become. I naturally become that. And when I naturally become that, I naturally transform. When I naturally remember Baba and remember who he really is, automatically my sanskaras transform. And then when I naturally transform, I will naturally serve. So really, I feel this relationship is so important because sometimes the intellect recognizes Baba. We recognize that Baba is God, Baba is the Supreme Soul. We recognize Baba's qualities, his part in the drama. But that's sometimes just through my intellect. How much have I recognized Baba through my heart? Have I realized the beauty of Baba? And if I look at my Brahman life, I see that, the main experience for me is the experience of love. And when I feel in love with Baba, I feel very easy about myself. I feel very relaxed, very content. And definitely my attitude to others is much more elevated, much more pure when I really taste Baba's love. But on the other hand, I've also experienced when the heart lacks love, the mind can never rest. The agitated mind is always looking for this love. And so when that desire is not fulfilled, this desire to be absolutely loved, which I think is the most powerful experience of the confluence age, if that's not experienced, then other desires come. And that's when we want a position in the yajna. We want respect from others. We demand respect. All these desires, and often they influence my Brahman life in a negative way. And so I would say that really at the heart of this life is to recognize the ocean of love and to experience the ocean of love and just feel the power of that love. And automatically I begin to transform. And I had an experience once that I often share also, that I was in Madhaban in 1980 and we're in Pandav Bhavan. And Daddyji had invited all the senior sisters from around India. And they came to Pandav Bhavan and they were having a meeting. And there wasn't a scheduled meeting of Baba to come and meet them. The one morning in the Murli, Daddyji said, look, all of Bubba's special children are here. Bubba should come and meet you. She just kept repeating it and repeating it. And then after the Morley, she said to Daddy Gulzar, Gulzar, come and go to Baba. I really loved it. It was so spontaneous. And so Daddy Gulzar came, went into trance, and Baba came. And Baba just came, and his drishti filled the whole room with so much love. And then Baba said, I haven't come to speak the Morley. I've come to fulfill, the love of the children. And each daddy came up in front of Baba and then came into Baba's lap. All of them lay across Avyak Babdada's lap. I've never seen it before that or after that. And Baba held them and stroked them and hugged them and loved them so deeply. I just saw Baba filled each one with so much love. And as I was watching that, I realized why the daddies became so spiritually elevated. Baba filled them with so much love. They just let go their body consciousness, let go their dependence, let go their ego. And really, because that love just attracted them so deeply. And to me, this is the natural Raj Yoga, the real Raj Yoga, just to recognize Baba and fall in love with Baba. And sometimes I think, well, what is meditation? What is meditation? When we teach it outside, we give a technical explanation. In a way, I feel meditation is allowing myself to be completely, totally loved by the ocean of love. And what is knowledge? Knowledge is to observe that if I'm in front of perfect love, divine love, pure love, true love, and I can't feel it, then don't panic, don't worry. But this is the deep, deep gyan actually, to observe myself. What is blocking that love? The love I've searched for half a cycle, this pure love, is in front of me. And almost always the obstacle in me to really tasting that love is the sense of unworthiness. I'm not good enough. I'm not pure enough. This is the deep work to remove these barriers, if I can say, so that I can feel the ocean of love. And sometimes we identify so deeply. I love Baba, have faith in Baba, do his service, but I still think I'm really inferior. I'm not pure, I'm not worthy. And I feel that if, I'm still like that, then I haven't fully recognized Baba. If I'm still so attached to being inferior and not good enough, I haven't really recognized the ocean of love. I'm still more having a devotional relationship with Baba than a real relationship with Baba. Because this is really at the heart of this life, and this is at the heart of feeling constantly motivated to remember Baba and bring change in myself. So the ocean of love is really such a wonderful relationship with Baba. And experiment. Sit in front of Baba, allow yourself to be loved. Then observe what is blocking it. And that's where the signal is to make effort to remove the blocks from my heart so that I can really feel the purity of this love. It can take me to the highest level. And on page 9 of this week's Dilaram program is to be detached and loving. And this is Baba's quality. He's the absolute ocean of love and totally detached. Sometimes I ask the question, who is the most loving? Shiv Baba. Who is the most detached? Shiv Baba. And in a way, sometimes I think it's the big obstacle for all of us. We're too influenced, we're too affected by small things. And when we are, it blocks my remembrance because my mind becomes engaged in why people say this, why people behave like this, why this happens. And yet, I really feel that when I'm lost in love with Shiv Baba, it pulls me beyond all influences. And to me, detachment is my natural and original state. Attachment is my unnatural and conditioned state. And detachment is a result of being lost in Baba's love. Look at our Didi Nirmala. We all remember Didi because she was so detached. It wasn't that Didi tried to be detached. It's a natural consequence when you fall in love with the ocean of love. You're just pulled beyond all the influences around me. And detachment makes me feel free. The Avyak points about feeling liberated in life. The more I'm detached, I'm in this world, I'm responsible, I'm communicating, I'm close, but I'm not influenced by others. This is real purity. And I feel that time is such that time is calling us to be completely detached. And as I say, it's not that I sit there think I must be detached, I must be detached, I must be detached. No. Do you become detached by doing that? No. It's the result of when I'm lost in the love of one, when I have one in my heart, then automatically I live in this world, but I'm detached from this world. And this is such an elevated state to be absolutely loving and absolutely detached. As Baba sometimes says, to be truly loving, you have to be detached. You know, detachment, once Baba said, detachment protects my ability to love. Because when I'm detached, if people are good and sweet, I can love them. But when they're difficult, they're rude, they're in a mood, I can still love them because they don't affect me. And often the law says the more I'm dependent on someone, the more I'm affected by them. And really, time is calling me to be deeply detached. And I feel in this Dilaram Bhatti, really check, am I still just allowing everything to enter my mind and influence my feelings and my heart? Or am I just the observer, not the absorber? Because when I'm in love with Baba and I'm detached, I naturally observe this drama. I don't have to try, it's a natural consequence. What is attachment? Attachment is identifying and taking support from anything temporary. And when I do that, I start to fear loss. So the more attachment fills me with fear and insecurity. If I am afraid a lot, I feel insecure. Why? It's my attachment. It's revealing that I still am very dependent on my body and others. What is detachment? Identifying and taking support from that which always exists. What always exists? I, the soul, you, the soul, Baba, the Supreme Soul. When my whole sustenance comes from the things that are permanent, automatically I will be uninfluenced and I will be detached. And these are two of Baba's incredible qualities, really. And I think that really for me, the easy Raja Yoga is just to fall in love with Shiv Baba. This is the true Raja Yoga, and this is what Brahma Baba did. And I don't feel Brahma Baba really made any effort to have to renounce. I just think he was so in love, he just let everything go. His business, his dependence on his family, his position. Often that's a big detachment, a big attachment. Your position in society, your status. He was so well respected, and then he got so much defamation. But did it make him unhappy? No, because he had found what he wanted. So I really feel in the next week, in our practice of this Dilaram Bhatti, fall in love with the ocean of love. Observe if I block that love, and then make effort to step. It's my right to be loved, to step into Baba's vision, allow myself to be loved, and automatically you will start to feel detached more and more like Baba. So it's beautiful. And I'm just now going to ask if any of you would like to maybe put your hand up and just see if anyone would like to share in very briefly, like 30 seconds, 40 seconds, just something you've attained from the Dilaram Bhatti, something you've experienced, something in your relationship with Baba that has come closer, or you've learned more an experience or a feeling than just an understanding. So, and then we'll have some questions. And if there's no one who shares, then please begin with some questions, and Satish Bhai will start to read them out. So, would anyone like to just maybe put up their hand on the Zoom and share just for a few, 30, 40 seconds? So, if you would like to share something, just put up your hand on your Zoom link or unmute and just share. Sister Rupa?
Yeah. So this Dilaram Bhatti has helped me a lot because the month of January is very dear to my heart always, every year. So it developed a strong relationship with Baba. It strengthened my soul that I can not only in meditation but afterwards. Afterwards was more precious. It was just me and Baba, and that effect was so strong. Soul is so much clear what to do and how to do, and I'm able to put a easily full stop to everything, and I can see myself using my soul's power, and then it becomes very easy. I mean, it's just like effortless stage, I could say that. That's how my
Wow.
experience is.
Isn't that beautiful, everyone?
Yeah.
Effortless stage. Who likes the effortless stage? I think, and that's how it should be too, I think. So thank you so much, Rupa Ben. That's
Thank you.
very, very lovely. Anyone else, just in a 30 seconds or 40 seconds, would like to share something? Susan, you going to share something?
Yeah, I can check. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes. So I followed this Bhatti since day one, and of course the first day I'm not so sure, but I was just trying. By now, getting better and better, and I keep the chart like how many minutes I remember Baba, and also I every traffic control in center because there is this traffic control song. It helps to practice. And then suddenly last 2 days, traffic control song not coming
Mhm.
because some system was not something wrong. But because of the practice, even though there is no song, but automatically when during the traffic control time, at the time, we feel the pull, Baba's pull, the vibration very powerful. And in Malaysia, we actually have this Dilaram Bhatti online, 6:30 to 7:30 nationwide, where we log in. It was very powerful. So daily we follow 6:30 to 7:30, 1 hour. So I could see the chart is like improving. It's very encouraging. Looking at the self progress and also the experience that I had. Even like I also begin to experience when I offer book to say Baba in front of the Brahma Baba's picture. Suddenly it looks like very real, living, like what Baba says in the Moli, the living quality. You begin to able to experience. That means we are getting closer and closer. So very good experience up to now.
Wonderful, Susan. That was very inspiring. So, as you know, Susan's from Malaysia and Rupa Ben is from Melbourne. So, anyone else, maybe we can have one more. We'd love to, if anyone can turn on their camera and unmute. Be lovely to hear from somebody else if there is somebody else. Otherwise, we'll begin with some questions. Anyone else like to share something? Yes.
Om Shanti, Charlie Bhai. Very briefly, I think it really made my Amrit Vela really good connection with Baba. Just reading that little reflection and starting with that thought and going deep into that thought, I think the relationship with Baba, with every title, it's really wonderful and made that connection very strong. And then, as Sister Susan said, for the day there is very structured practice point. Like every traffic control, I know what to do, and that really creating that good sanskar of practicing one point and becoming embodiment. So it's very beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Anjali. She's from Melbourne also. This is very lovely. It's lovely to hear. So I don't think anyone else is coming forward. So maybe, Satish Bhai, if there's any questions that have come in the chat box, and there's time if you want to write one in, please feel free. So Satish Bhai?
Hello, Brother Charles. Well, there hasn't been much questions coming through on the chat box, but sorry, but I do have a couple of questions to start with, if that's okay.
Sure.
First question would be, how can we experience Baba and his titles and qualities more than rather than just holding it as a belief?
Yeah. You know, I feel that this whole life really is about converting what I know, the knowledge, into an experience. And as many of you know, I often share that in 1985, Baba got all the foreigners to do the realization course. And Baba said something that had such an impact on my Brahman life. And Baba said, children, you know the knowledge, you believe the knowledge, you teach the knowledge, but you don't experience the knowledge. And to me, this whole Dilaram, in a way, is to educate us to not just know the information, teach the information, believe it, but feel. Because Baba said every point of knowledge has an associated experience. And often what we do, once we know it, we think that's it. But to me, that's the first step of thousands of steps. You know, the first step to know, the second step to believe, the next 998 steps, educating myself to extract the experience from a truth. So when Baba says, you are a soul, then when I go and I really experience myself to be this detached bindi, actually the quality of peace that emerges is so profound, and it's experiences that sustain me. And it's the same with Baba. My experience is that the more I become like Baba, Baba is eternally soul conscious. And really, it opens the door to spiritual experience. So the more I become like Baba as a seed, a point, a bodiless being, it sort of opens the door to feel and experience. And that's when we become so motivated. And I once remember Baba saying that the formula for experience is become a point, apply a point, remember a point. Become the seed, put a full stop to overthinking, and then I will really enter this world of divine experiences of Baba, his personality, his titles. And to me, this is what really sustains us in this life, is just to really not just sit thinking about Baba, but actually experiencing, really feeling connected and experiencing and feeling Baba. And this is really what yoga is about. And quite frankly, I think many of us just sit thinking. And when we think a lot about Baba, we do relax, we feel more peaceful. But when I become totally bodiless, and I remember the one who's eternally bodiless, it's like that's when I feel so powerful, so full of love and closeness. And sometimes I think that when I sit in front of Baba, when the soul is absolutely present in front of Shiv Baba, the sense organs are not pulling my mind here and there. I'm absolutely present. And I'm allowing Baba's vibration just to enter the core of my being. That's when the intimacy with Baba, it's like at that point what Baba wants. And you go into a deep silence, just me and Baba. My whole world is focused on Baba. And that's when really the purity, the beauty of Baba comes out. And I would really try that formula, become a point, 100% detached from this temporary form. Apply a point, not overthinking, over-analyzing, over-processing. And that's preparing myself to remember the point and feel Baba, feel the point. So, yeah, thank you, Satish Bhai.
Thank you,
Any
Charlie.
more?
Yes. My next one would be, over the years, you've really built that relationship and you've come really close to Baba. What do you think could be factors that might actually stop me from becoming really close to Baba, to feel really close to Baba?
Yeah. Well, there's a whole range of things, but the big block I really feel I was describing a bit earlier is this addiction to the identity that I'm not good enough, I'm not pure, I'm not worthy. All of us on this Dilaram Zoom call now, we've spent 2,500 years searching for truth and God. And in all the temples, all the churches, it's like, oh God, you're so pure and I'm so impure. You're so great and I'm so low. And that has recorded such a deep habit of inferiority and a feeling where I identify. And when I identify with my impurity, my heart doesn't come close. I don't feel good enough. And yet, Baba, when I used to meet Baba, I noticed that Baba would see me up here, so elevated, and I would see myself here. And in a way, what is this life? Stepping out of the attachment to the limited identity and stepping into God's vision, stepping out of my vision, old vision, and stepping into Baba's vision. Baba sees all of us as world benefactors, as ancestor souls, as angels. And sometimes we say, oh, Baba, you don't know what I'm like. It's actually Baba who knows who I am. He sees the 84 births. He sees the original blueprint of absolute purity and benevolence. But I'm so attached to my present state. And to me, spiritual progress, this is what the daddies did. Baba's love pulled them out of this attachment to not feeling good enough, feeling inferior, feeling unworthy, feeling impure. If I say I love Baba, I have faith in Baba, but I still identify with being impure or unworthy, I don't know, have I really recognized who's teaching me? Have I really recognized? It's deep work. This is the deep work to remove this sort of vision on myself. I often call it a prison I've created inside, a prison of limitation, a prison of my weaknesses. Baba lets us out of that prison to step into my own beauty and my own elevated self. But it's deep work. The attachment to that identity is quite strong.
Thank you. Charlie Bhai, there's another interesting question. Why is it we feel a difference when we have, evening yoga bhatti versus when we do the Dilaram bhatti? Somehow there's the feeling of, there's a sense of feeling more closer to Baba when we do the Dilaram bhatti. But sometimes evening meditation, it just feels like, it's a little bit ordinary.
One of the reasons is that in Dilaram, we have an absolute aim every day. Often when we sit down, we just let the mind wander here. We process what somebody said to me. We process a feeling. I sort of think about the service I'm going to do and half an hour passes. But this is showing that if we have a real aim, that's one reason. But I would say the second reason is that all over the world we have a collective aim. And we sort of enter this international yoga bhatti of 84 birth souls, the original ancestor souls. And we sort of connect and we create a vibration. And really, I've been thinking a lot recently that the number one practice is remembrance. This is the number one aim of this life, and this is the instruction that God gives every single day. How much have I built the account of pure thought and remembrance? And these bhattis, if I really focus, we get power. I remember when we began in Australia, in Melbourne, when I arrived there in 1977, we had no service except courses. So we would have every weekend 8-hour bhattis, 4-hour bhattis. It gave us all strength. It created such an atmosphere. And literally, I'm not exaggerating, we'd be in a bhatti and people would start ringing and knocking on the door. It was almost like that quality of vibration of purity and Baba's love, in a sense, just attracts the human souls in that way. And so when there's a focus and aim in meditation, there's a better experience.
Thank you. That's lovely. We've got a few more minutes. Do you think we can do one more question, Charlie Pai?
Sure. Yeah, we can do
Great.
one or two more.
Cool. You did mention earlier, sometimes Baba sees us at this level, but we see ourselves here. What is it that causes that illusion between my vision of myself and Baba's vision on me? What is it that creates that illusion?
Well, it's my self-perception through a body-conscious lens. When I'm body-conscious, the real influence is my lack of self-respect. I do have an ego facade, but behind it is my sense of inferiority and my lack of self-respect, and we're the oldest souls. And so, that's really how I see myself. And sometimes some just can't break out of that vision on the self. I love Baba and I do Baba's service. That's all good, but I am still identify with my sense of inferiority. And that's where really it's my duty. It's absolutely my duty to step into Baba's vision. And I would suggest that in Amrit Vela, sit in front of Bapdada and feel his drishti, his elevated drishti. And, every Avyak Muli, it's like the words, children, you are the world benefactors. Children, you are the highest souls in eternity. It's my duty. And if I keep thinking, no, I'm not, really it is telling me I haven't fully recognized who's teaching me. And I've got to do that deep work and step aside. Once Daddy Janki told us in London that when she was a little girl, a dog would bark and she'd jump. She said she was such a frightened little thing. And look at her. I remember in her last few years, a few times she said, I don't have any fear. I've conquered fear. Fear of death, fear of defamation, everything. I don't have any fear. Who gave her the power to do that? It was Baba. But she had the courage to let go the attachment to always feeling inferior and not good enough. And this is deep knowledge to remove myself from that form of impurity, always identifying with what I'm not rather than with who I am.
Thank you. There's another lovely question. What can I do to remain an embodiment of remembrance and to follow Srimad constantly? It's a big question.
Well, it's really, I would say, it goes back to square one. Because the repercussions of the quality of my relationship allow me to be detached, allow me to remember Baba, allow me to follow Srimad. And that is, the relationship of love, belonging, that you really feel in your heart Baba's the lover of the soul, the eternal lover of the soul. And automatically I become detached. And when I become detached, I can remember Baba. And really, I think many of Baba's children, they love Baba, but are so dependent on family members, Lokik family members, sometimes our Lokik, that actually I more think about Baba. I've really realized that to really extract the spiritual power from Baba, I have to have one Baba in my heart and none other. And following Srimad is like putting myself under the influence of one. And absolutely one. For the half a cycle, I put myself under the influence of families and societies and gurus and teachers and cultures and all these things. And sometimes even Baba's children are a little bit fearful of society's opinions and all this sort of thing. But a true Brahmin puts myself under the influence of one. And really, once one Australian brother sat in front of Baba, and Baba would always meet with Drishti. And Baba gave him long Drishti, and then Baba felt that he had a question. So Baba said, "Do you have a question?" He said, "Yes, Baba." And so Baba said, "To ask it." And this brother asked it like a little child, so sweetly. He said, "Baba, how can I get my self-respect back?" Baba's answer, just follow Srimad. Because when you do actions that are true, you like who you are. If you have a truth in your heart and you go against it, your truth is to respect everybody, and yet you find yourself putting people down, gossiping, thinking bad. How can I really have that full self-respect? And so when I follow Baba's directions, not like rules and regulations. To me, Srimad is not rules and regulations. That's a superficial religious view of Srimad. It's a deep code of truth, of how to live in this world and go beyond the game of give and take of sorrow. And so really, what comes first? Do I remember Baba? And automatically I become detached. And the more detached, the more I can remember Baba. And the more detached I can follow Srimad, because otherwise I'm influenced by people and what they think of me and how they think I should behave. So Pamat influences me and Manmat influences me. The fortunate child will put themselves under the influence one. So only Shiv Baba is influencing me. I'm following his directions. But still I'm wise enough to be able to deal with everybody. Even when people say, you should do this, you should do that, we know how to manage all this. Yep. Actually, Brahman life is very simple. We all know it. But I feel that dependence becomes, the long term is the main vice, because it doesn't allow me to have this deep, loving relationship. Even one dependent human relationship won't allow me to experience true God's love and the true relationship with Baba.
Thank you very much, Charlie Bai. That was definitely really very enlightening, very empowering, very encouraging. I think we need to move on to the next segment, which is a little meditation together.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. I was
Okay.
just going to suggest, would you be happy to offer us a commentary, or would it just be a silent meditation together?
Yeah, I will start off with a bit of a commentary and then maybe finish with silence and then write on the hour as we finish. Maybe we can just finish in silence. So anyway, dear family, so lovely to be with you. And let's now really travel to Dilaram, the comforter of hearts. In this month of January, there's a special atmosphere to come closer to Baba and strengthen my relationship. Baba, for half a cycle I have searched for you, because I remember that no one can love me like you. No one can give me the feelings of such belonging, such closeness. Baba, I feel so safe with you. I want to come closer and closer. This is the main aim of my life. And Baba, you tell me that the more I become like you, the eternal bodiless soul, it's like I enter your world. And I start to really feel all your qualities and your beauty. Baba, like a small child, I sit in front of you, my eternal mother and father. And I allow myself to be completely loved. Just me and you. I feel your divine love entering the core of my being. There's nothing sweeter, Baba. I feel I don't need anything else in life. Your love, your belonging makes me desireless. I feel so full. But sometimes, Baba, I'm at a distance from you. Sometimes my actions, my attitude, being critical of others, judgmental of others, taking sorrow from others, makes me feel a little unworthy, and I don't feel so close. I look into your eyes, Baba, and I see your vision. Falling on my elevated self, my deity self, my highest divinity. Baba, you hold my value in your attitude. Your drishti makes me feel so elevated. You see me as an angel. One in love with one, and totally benevolent and merciful to all. Just for a few minutes, have no other thought. Step into Baba's drishti and feel his elevated feelings for me. Baba, the more I am lost in your divine love, you pull me beyond the influence of this world. I'm in this world. I'm in relationship and friendship with others. I'm fulfilling responsibilities. But I feel uninfluenced. The more I'm lost in your love and your beauty, you pull me beyond all the differences, all the conflicts, all the personalities, all the opinions. The more I feel closer to you, Baba, naturally I feel the detached observer. I feel like I'm sitting with you watching this eternal drama unfold. Baba, this is such a sweet feeling. I'm in the drama, but beyond the influence of the drama. It's your company that gives me this divine experience. Baba, as the proof of my love for you, I promise I will not take sorrow from anyone or anything. This is what you want of me. You need all of us in the Brahmin family to be beyond influence. Fly as an angel and give visions to all our brothers and sisters. And when I'm in your world, Baba, I can hear the cries of the devotees, the suffering in the hearts of our human family. And then I know that the most beautiful life is to be in love with you and serve everyone with good wishes, pure feelings, benevolence, mercy, love. For every soul, Baba, I'll become an instrument of all your qualities. I take from you and give to everyone. I'm just your instrument. Baba, you have given me such a beautiful life. In the whole of eternity, this is the only time I can know you, be close to you, and feel your divine love. Om Shanti. Thank you so much, everyone, and see you in a week's time. Have a wonderful Dilaram week. Thank you. Om Shanti.